are going to begin lesson 31 on page 671, and this is a lesson on angles. I'm going to go ahead and read the parent letter simply because there's some really good information here that will help us, along with the instructional video I gave earlier about protractors and protractor use. So we'll begin. Before measuring an angle, it is helpful to estimate the measure by using benchmarks, such as a right angle and a straight angle. For example, to estimate the measure of the blue angle below, compare it to the right angle and to a straight angle. So we know that if we were to draw in a right angle here, or imagine a right angle with a 90 degrees, we would know that this is an obtuse angle, therefore it has to be over 90 degrees. Now that same angle, if we were to create a straight line going down the base ray, so I call it the base ray simply because it's the ray that's at the closest to the bottom. If we make this a straight line, we can see that the angle we're left over with is actually an acute angle, so we again know that this is an obtuse angle. The blue angle is an obtuse angle. So a right angle has a measurement of 90 degrees. That's something that we just need to remember always. A straight angle has a measure of 180 degrees. The measure of the blue angle is between 90 and 180 degrees. Because remember, a straight line is 180 and a right angle is 90. So this blue angle is in between the two, making it an obtuse angle. To find the exact measure of an angle, your child is learning how to use a tool called a protractor. And the way that we use a protractor is we line up the center point of the protractor with the vertex of the angle. So this open center point is lined up with the vertex, and then you line up one ray with a 0 mark. Now your protractor might have a 0 there, or it might not, but you know that as long as it is going through the 180 at the tip, that you are on that base ray. So, and then it says to read the mark on the protractor that the other ray passes through. Now recall that I taught you guys earlier that we read the inside numbers, and you see they're different because it starts 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. When the ray opens on the right. I'm sorry, when the angle is open on the right. And I know it's open to the right, kind of like this, rather than to the left, which would be open to this side over here. So when open to the right, use inside numbers to measure. And the more that you work with protractors, the more that this will make sense as you continue to make measurements. So we can see here in this one that the measure is 130 degrees. This angle measures 130 degrees, and it also passes through the 50 degree mark. But since the angle is bigger than the 90 degree angle, the measure is not 50. Again, when it's open to the right, like this angle is, we read from the inside numbers. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. And we're actually gonna move on to page 673. Lily and Dora each turn the hour hand on a clock face. They make different angles by turning the hour hand. Who makes the greater angle? Explain how you know. Well, if we start here and we don't turn our hands, we would be leaving this angle at 0. And then we can see here that this is a right angle, so Lily's angle is at least 90 degrees. And we know that this is an obtuse angle because it goes beyond 90 degrees. So Dora's angle is actually bigger. Let's move on to page 674. Explain how you know who makes the greater angle, Lily or Dora. And we determined that it was Dora. Dora makes the greater angle. because her angle is simply bigger or open more. Number 2 says you can measure angles to compare them. A degree is a unit of measure for angles. We're going to write that. A degree is a unit of measure for angles. Show degrees with the symbol, this little circular open dot at the top of the degree. The angle made by a full turn of a ray in a circle measures 360 degrees or 360 degrees. And this is how I would like you guys to start writing it, with a little degree symbol right there at the upper right-hand corner at the end of your number. A says, look at the diagram below. An angle that turns through 1/360th of a circle is called a 1-degree angle. How many 1-degree angles are in a circle? Well, if we know that a circle has 360 degrees, then there are 360 angles, 1-degree angles in a circle. And so each angle is measured by a degree. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 represented right here on this angle. This right here, I'm going to just go ahead and put as 7 degrees. The red angle in the diagram turns through part of the circle. Count to find the measure of the red angle. Write the measure of the red angle. A ray turns to form a right angle in the circle at the right. What is the measure in degrees of a right angle? Explain. So a right angle is always 90 degrees. Okay, so after this introductory video and for lesson 31, you are going to be able to complete your work on page 745 and 746.